Nó đi rồi đại ca. Bây giờ em với đại ca vào trong xem ông già như nào.
Được, đi, mày vào.
Con kia nó đi rồi, bây giờ mình vào trong lán xem là ông già kia ông ở lán không. Bây giờ vào luôn chứ đại ca.
Con kia đi chợ rồi, vào luôn con gì nữa, còn lâu nó mới về. Đi, vào đi.
Bố già ơi. Bố già ấy, sống ở đây an nhàn thảnh thơi nha. Tình hình nào rồi bố già? Thế bố già còn muốn gặp lại con gái của bố già nữa không? Bảo tụi này một câu thôi.
Nhìn ông sống ở đây có vẻ thảnh thơi phết nhở?
Nói chung là cũng qua mấy ngày nay cũng không có tin tức gì của các anh, cho nên tôi cũng ở nhà tôi làm việc ở nhà này tôi chả nắm được cái thông tin gì.
Tụi này nó đã nói với ông rồi. Có thông tin gì ấy thì báo cho tụi này ngay. Để đâu tụi này vẫn lặn lội từ xa đến tận đây. Thế bố già có muốn gặp con gái của bố già nữa không? Bảo tụi này một câu thôi.
The morning sun peeks over the hills as Tien steps into the chicken coop, basket in hand. It's going to rain today. It feels so humid, she mutters, glancing at the cloudy sky. She kneels, carefully collecting eggs as the hens cluck softly around her. Got more than 100 eggs. Father, pretty good haul, she calls out, counting them. That's a lot. Take them to the market, her father replies, tying palm leaves into a broom. I found these leaves up on the hill, making a broom to sweep the yard, he adds, focused. I'll pack 10 eggs per bag, Tien decides, sorting them on a wooden table. These smaller ones we'll keep for ourselves, she says, setting a few aside. They're too tiny for selling, perfect for us to eat, she adds, smiling softly. Be careful climbing around in there, her father warns, glancing over with concern. I'll be fine, just getting the last few, she assures, stepping out of the coop. Father, wash your hands, I'll put the broom away, she says, taking it from him. This broom looks sturdy, it'll last a while, she notes, admiring his handiwork. I'll head to the market soon, it's a bit far today, she says, tying up the egg bags. The nearby market isn't open, so I'll have to walk farther, she adds, frowning slightly. Father, stay home and rest. I don't want you walking too much, she urges, her tone caring. Don't worry about me. I'll work on the vegetable garden, he replies, waving her off. All right, I'll get going. See you later, Tien says, grabbing her basket of eggs. She steps onto the dirt path, the weight of the eggs a reminder of her responsibilities. A gust of wind carries the scent of rain. She quickens her pace, sensing trouble brewing. Tien's father sweeps the yard, unaware of two shadowy figures watching from the trees. She's gone, boss. Let's check on the old man, one whispers, nodding toward the house. All right, let's go in. She'll be at the market for a while, the leader replies, smirking. They stride into the yard, their boots crunching on the dirt as the father looks up, startled. Old man, you're living quite the peaceful life here, the leader sneers, his voice cold. What's the situation, huh? The second thug demands, cracking his knuckles menacingly. Sit down, have some water, the father offers, his voice steady but his hands trembling. Ignore him. Why are you here so openly in broad daylight? He asks, his tone sharp. Aren't you worried about exposing your business? He adds, eyeing them cautiously. We've been waiting for your news too long. We got impatient, the leader snaps, glaring. Do you still want to see your daughter, Tien, or not? He asks, his voice dripping with threat. Just tell us what we need to know, the second thug growls, leaning in close. I've had no word from you lately. I've just been working around the house, the father says. I don't have any new information for you, he adds, his voice firm but strained. We told you to report anything immediately. Now we had to come here ourselves, the leader barks. Answer us, do you want to see your daughter again or not? He repeats, his tone menacing. I've been busy here, nothing to report, so please understand, the father pleads, his voice low. Suddenly, Tien's voice calls from the path, Father, I'm back. The thugs freeze, exchanging a quick glance as the father's heart races. We'll visit again soon, stay safe, old man, the leader whispers, his tone ominous. See you later, the second thug adds as they slip away into the trees. Father, who are those men? Tien asks, her voice tinged with fear as she approaches. I don't really know them. They came by once before just to talk, her father lies, his voice shaky. They looked scary, I've never seen them before, she says, her eyes wide with worry. Be careful, father, something doesn't feel right, she warns, her voice trembling as she heads inside. Tien's father steps into the garden, the air heavy with the promise of rain as he grabs a bundle of sticks. Those hoazone flowers are falling everywhere, makes the yard a mess, he mutters, looking around. He kneels by the vegetable patch, hammering a stick into the soil to support the climbing beans. This trellis should help the plants grow strong, he says, tying the sticks together with twine. He pauses, wiping sweat from his brow, his mind still on the stranger's threatening words. I can't let Tien know about this, it'd scare her too much, he whispers, his voice heavy. He glances toward the house, making sure she's still inside preparing for the market. I need to protect her, no matter what, he resolves, his hands working faster. He adds another layer to the trellis, ensuring the beans have enough room to climb. This should hold up even in the rain, he notes, testing the structure with a gentle shake. He moves to the mute vines, weaving their tendrils around a new bamboo frame. These vines need more support. Last year they collapsed, he recalls, his tone thoughtful. He steps back, surveying his work, the garden now a neat grid of green and brown. Looks good, should keep the plant safe, he says, a small smile breaking through his worry. He grabs a hoe, breaking up the soil around the base of the plants to help them grow. This soil's too hard, needs to breathe, he mutters, his movement steady but distracted. The memory of the thug's threat lingers, casting a shadow over his quiet work. He glances toward the path, half expecting the strangers to return at any moment. I need to figure out a plan, can't let them near Tien, he whispers, his grip tightening. The clouds above darken, mirroring the storm brewing in his heart as he continues his task. He finishes the trellis, standing up to stretch his back with a tired sigh. Time to head inside, rain's coming soon, he says, gathering his tools. He walks back to the house, the weight of his secret pressing down on him. Tien shouldn't have to deal with this, he murmurs, his voice filled with resolve. He sets the tools down, his mind racing with ways to keep his daughter safe. The first drops of rain begin to fall, a quiet warning of the trouble ahead. Tu Tien arrives at the bustling market, her basket of eggs balanced carefully as she finds a spot. "Sister, can I sit here to sell?" she asks, approaching a vendor with a friendly smile. "Go ahead," the vendor replies, pointing to a small space near her stall. "The usual egg seller isn't here today, she's taking a break," the vendor adds, arranging her goods. "Thanks, I'll borrow this mat and return it later," Tu Tien says, spreading it out. "Sister, want some eggs?" she calls, arranging her bags neatly on the mat. "Auntie, fresh eggs for sale," she shouts, her voice carrying through the market noise. "How much for a bag?" a woman asks, pausing to inspect the eggs. 25,000 dong for 10 eggs, Tu Tien replies, holding up a bag. "I'll take one, do you have change?" the woman asks, handing over a bill. "Yes, here's your change, thank you," Tu Tien says, handing her the eggs with a smile. "Uncle, want some eggs?" 25,000 for 10. She calls to a passing man. "Looks good, I'll take a bag," he says, paying as Tu Tien hands him the eggs. "Sister, fresh eggs, 25,000 dong," she shouts, drawing more customers. "I'll take 2 bags, 50,000 dong," a woman says, counting out the cash. "Thank you, they're nice and fresh," Tu Tien says, her basket lightening with each sale. The market hums around her, but she can't shake the unease from seeing those strangers. She glances around, half expecting to see them watching her from the crowd. "Focus, Tu Tien, sell these and get home," she whispers, pushing the fear aside. The rain begins to drizzle, urging her to sell faster before the market empties. Tu Tien's phone buzzes as she sells eggs, the market noise fading as she answers the call. "Hello, Tu Tien, it's Jack." His voice crackles through the line, warm but urgent. "Jack? I'm at the market selling eggs. Where are you?" She replies, her tone bright. "I'm heading to my hometown for a wedding my mom just told me about it," Jack explains. "It's sudden, but I'd love for you to come with me," he adds, his voice hopeful. "A wedding in your hometown? That sounds fun," Tu Tien says, her interest piqued. "But I'm still at the market, and I haven't prepared anything," she adds, her tone apologetic. "It's a bit last minute, my mom forgot to tell me earlier," Jack admits, chuckling softly. "I'd love to introduce you to my family, they're eager to meet you," he urges, his voice warm. "I'd love to go, but I'm not ready to delay your plans," Tu Tien says, hesitating. "How about I pick you up after you're done?" Jack suggests, his tone encouraging. "No, you go ahead, I'll need time to prepare anyway," she replies, her voice firm but gentle. "I've never been to a wedding there. I'd feel shy without preparation," she adds, smiling. "All right, how about another time then?" Jack offers, his tone understanding. "Sounds good, call me when you're back from the market," he says, his voice reassuring. "Be careful selling out there," he adds, his concern evident as he hangs up. "I'll call you later. Safe travels, Jack," Tu Tien says, putting her phone away. She sighs, a mix of disappointment and relief washing over her as she returns to her eggs. "It'd be nice to meet his family, but not today," she murmurs, focusing on her sales. The market buzzes around her, but her thoughts linger on Jack and the strangers at home. Tu Tien's basket empties as the market crowd thins, the drizzle turning into a steady rain. "Sister, fresh eggs, last few bags," she calls, her voice carrying over the patter of rain. "How much for a bag?" a woman asks, hurrying over with an umbrella. 25,000 dong for 10 eggs, Tu Tien replies, handing her a bag. "I'll take one, thanks," the woman says, paying quickly as she rushes off. "Uncle, want some eggs?" 25,000 dong. Tien shouts, spotting another customer. Give me 2 bags, 50,000 dong, the man says, handing her the money. Here you go, thank you. Tien says, her basket now nearly empty. Last bag, 25,000 dong. She calls as a final customer approaches. I'll take it, 75,000 for 3 bags earlier, the woman says, paying with a smile. Thank you, sister, enjoy. Tien says, pocketing the money with satisfaction. She counts her earnings, several 100,000 dong, a good day despite the rain. Time to head home, but first, some treats for father, she decides, packing up. She walks to a nearby stall, the scent of sweet cakes wafting through the air. Sister, where's the bonron stall? She asks a vendor, her stomach rumbling. Up there, follow the path, the vendor replies, pointing to a small cart. Thanks. Tien says, hurrying over as the rain picks up. How much for these bonron? She asks the seller, eyeing the golden pastries. 3,000 dong each, the woman replies, flipping a fresh batch. I'll take 6, 18,000 dong, Tien says, handing over the cash. Here's the dipping sauce for them, the woman says, passing her a small container. What about these cakes, are they bon gai? Tien asks, pointing to another tray. Yes, 12,000 dong for a pair, the woman replies, wrapping them up. I'll take a pair, here's 10,000 more, Tien says, adding to her purchase. Thank you, enjoy, the woman says as Tien tucks the cakes into her bag. See you next time. Tien calls, heading back through the market. The rain soaks her clothes, but the thought of sharing the cakes with her father warms her. She glances around, the unease from earlier creeping back as she leaves the market. The path home feels longer in the rain, her steps quickening with each drop. Father will love these cakes, she says, clutching the bag tightly. But the memory of the strangers lingers, casting a shadow over her small victory. Tien steps into the house, the scent of rain clinging to her as she sets down her bag. Father, I'm back from the market, she calls, her voice bright despite her soaked clothes. I bought some delicious cakes for us, she adds, pulling out the bonron and bon gai. You've been working in the garden. I see the new trellis for the beans, she notes, smiling. Yes, I finished the supports, it'll hold up well, her father replies, wiping his hands. These cakes look tasty, where'd you get them? He asks, sitting at the small table. There's bon gai and bonron. I got them at the market, Tien says, unwrapping them. I sold all the eggs today, made a few 100,000 dong, she shares, her tone proud. That's great, people must love your eggs, her father says, taking a piece of bonron. This bonron is delicious, comes with a dipping sauce too, he adds, dipping it in the sweet liquid. It's only 3,000 dong each, pretty affordable, Tien says, taking a bite. Try the bon gai, it's wrapped in lytutien, she urges, passing him a piece. This is so good, smooth and well cooked, her father says, savoring the sticky rice cake. Jack loves bon gai too, it's a popular treat, Tien says, her voice warm with memory. Speaking of Jack, he called while I was at the market, she adds, her tone softening. He invited me to a wedding in his hometown, but I couldn't go, I was too busy, she explains. I told him I'd go another time, I wasn't prepared today, she adds, her voice tinged with regret. That's a shame, it'd be nice to meet his family, her father says, his tone gentle. Yes, I'd like to visit his village someday, see his relatives. Tien agrees, nodding. This Bon guy reminds me of the mountains. We only had Bon Chung during Tet back then, she recalls. Since meeting Jack and moving here, I've tried so many new foods, she adds, her eyes bright. Being closer to the market helps. We can buy fresh ingredients, she says, smiling. Up in the mountains, we rarely got to the market, missed out on so much, she continues. This dipping sauce is made with mat, perfect with the bon ron. Her father notes, dipping another piece. They call it bon mat up north. Always paired with mat for the best flavor, he shares. Some vendors sell it for more, but this was a good deal, Tien says, taking another bite. Maybe I'll learn to make these cakes myself, sell them at the market, she muses, her tone thoughtful. You do well, they're delicious, her father encourages, his voice warm but distracted. His mind drifts back to the strangers, their threat echoing in his thoughts. Let's call Jack, see if he's at the wedding yet, Tien suggests, grabbing her phone. Jack, it's me, I'm home, she says as he picks up, her voice cheerful. I'm at the wedding now, it was sudden, my mom forgot to tell me earlier, Jack replies. Father says hello, Tien says, as her father nods with a small smile. Tell him I say hi, I'll be at the wedding soon, Jack says, his voice warm. I sold all the eggs and bought cakes, they're so good, Tien shares, her tone excited. Glad you're home safe, enjoy the cakes, Jack says before hanging up. Let's finish eating, I'll cook dinner soon, Tien says, setting the phone down. I already fed the pigs earlier, you rest, her father says, his voice heavy with unspoken worry. They eat in quiet companionship, the rain outside a reminder of the storm looming in their lives.
One day, as we looked at the world and considered our possibilities, my husband said, you know, if we were creative, we could see that world as a backdrop to create a pocket garden. It could be beautiful. Maybe something good could come of this. We didn't realize how good we began work to transform the world. My husband and our sons built a latest structure to provide a place where plants could grow and eventually hide the plywood. I watched it as they worked together, whistling, talking, helping each other. Friends began to get into the spirit of the world as well. They knew the story and rallied round to help